From the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics. From the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3 powered by Crucial, along with our apparel partner 656, our accessories partner Cosmic Byte, and our esports partner Aimlab. I'm Floki, with me is Kirito. We have got some really good matchups lined up for you today, but before we get on to that, make sure you sign that QR code, make sure you get yourself a can of that Red Bull so you can enjoy the game. And as for today's fixtures, today's match is going to be between Enigma versus Squad. So It's gonna be a fun match, Kirito. Enigma, they've already had a match today, I believe. Didn't really go their way, but hey, I guess a new match allows them to start on a new page, and hopefully they can bring this one home, restore some morale back at boot camp.
Indeed, it's going to be a difficult match for both sides, and both of these sides, according to the group standings, they are a little bit on the lower side. They're going to be struggling in this mid stage of the group stages to actually get up there around that top four, top three region, so that they can actually go into the playoffs with a better, a better momentum. So I think both these sides are willing to get this dub and start off some momentum for their favor to actually slowly climb their ranks up. But yeah, I'm hoping that both sides are going to give us a really entertaining match, and that's all I have to really say. These two teams, they have a lot of potential to deliver to us, and that's what I'm hoping to see today.
Absolutely, and because they are both stuck in sort of the middle of the pack in the group stages, it becomes a very cutthroat match, of course. But without any further ado, let's actually jump into the MVP standings powered by Crucial and see who's going to be occupying that top four spot. Last time we checked, it was Deathmaker, Sai, Paradox, and Shooter. And guess what? It hasn't changed much since then. The Maker of Death still occupying the top spot, followed by Sai, Paradox, and Shooter. Unfortunately, none of the Enigma members are up on board over here, but I do imagine Raw Fuel is somewhere close to reaching and cracking that top four. And who knows, maybe a breakout performance in this game could just push him over the edge and into that top four MVP standings. What do you think, Kareem?
Yeah, that's definitely something that might happen after this matchup, because obviously all the really top tier fraggers, they're holding these top four positions, and Rafu certainly has that potential to be amongst them. So he just needs a match or two to get that blood flowing within him and get that kill, all those frags in his name. And I'm pretty sure in the next time we check out these standings, he's definitely going to be up here. But that just adds more spice to the competition. That just adds, all these other players like Deathmaker and Sai to actually up their game as well to be able to stay there in that top four position. So all of these players that are currently competing for this MVP standing, they are going to give it their all, because at this point we never really know who's going to be showing up there all of a sudden, because they're all just fragging like crazy right now.
I mean, every single player on that team, Enigma is one to look out for. Every name has a lot of history behind it, and you better respect these guys because otherwise they're gonna sneak a map, then sneak another, and before you know it, the series is theirs, right? But yeah, we should be putting some faces to the names pretty soon. So let's no, actually, before we do that, we should jump into the group standings and see what this match actually means for both the teams. So let's actually get into that and see where these teams are. So Enigma and Sus Squad quite close to each other. Enigma barely surviving relegation there with just 3 points over here above Sus Squad. But they've only had 3 matches so far. This is going to be their fourth match. For Sus Squad, this is going to be their sixth match, Kirito. So actually, Enigma is doing quite well. I mean, this is deceptive on first sight, isn't it?
Yeah, a win here would definitely set them up for a better position in this group standings. And considering they've only played 3 maps, they still have a lot of room to work with and a lot more opportunities for them to get up there in that tougher position and avoid that bottom two relegation spot. And Sus Squad, on the other hand, they've played 5 matches and they've lost 4 of them according to the group table. So yeah, they are definitely in the danger zone right now. They need to start winning these matchups, and starting today should be the beginning of this win streak. Because if they lose one more, they're definitely going to be in a situation where it's going to be really difficult to come back from. And I'm hoping that they don't fall into that. But speaking of the teams, let's go back into team intro. Starting things off with the first team of Sus Squad. Let's see what their team has up their sleeves as we go in to the first team standings. As we see the players, I mean, all these names, they've been performing really well all around all day. What are your thoughts about this, Floki?
I believe they've had a bit of a change up over here. I see Sticks and Cocky playing. I don't think I've seen those names before on Sauce Squad. I think these guys are probably standing in for this particular game. But yeah, so far it's going to be Derek Sod, AZ, Chops, Cocky, and Sticks. And these guys are a part of the main roster apparently. So never mind, they're not just stepping in for today. These guys are a part of the main roster. Let's see. Let's see what they can put together against Enigma Gaming. It's not going to be easy, but hey, Sus Squad, it's in the name itself. Their motives are sus. You don't know how strong these guys really are until you feel them out in the BO3. And who knows, maybe since the last time you've seen them, they've improved a lot and they're going to give Enigma a tough fight. But yeah, it remains to be seen if they actually have what it takes to take down some of the top tier teams here, because that does seem to be lacking a little bit with Sus Squad and some of the other teams here as well in the gauntlet that don't have the same renown as all the other teams. But yeah, I'm hoping that they can actually put up some work. I do know that Chobs and AZ are really, really good. I believe AZ is the dedicated controller slash sentinel player, and Chobs and Direct are usually the ones playing those duelists. So it'll be quite interesting to see who ends up, grabbing that jet and picking it up for themselves. Chamber's out too, but I'm quite sure they're not going to be using Chamber for this particular season. It's only going to come in the next season. And yeah, when Chamber comes out, it's going to be a whole different ball game. So this is going to be fun to watch. But before we go into the future, let's actually jump into the player spotlight from the side of Sus Squad and see which is the player from their squad who we should be keeping an eye out for. I believe it's going to be it is Cocky on that cipher. Okay, well, 68 to 96, not the best of KDAs, but hey, when you've had so many losses, can be rough to maintain a good ADR. And if you actually look at his ACS, apologies, that is 147. So pretty close to a kill per round, but still not up there just yet. But maybe that all can change today. Maybe today is the day where they wake up on the right side of the bed and they send Enigma home packing. But is it actually going to happen? It remains to be seen. I want your opinion on this, Kirito, because I think when
Yeah.
you as a squad have lost BO3 earlier in the day and you're playing another one later on in the day, I think somewhere or the other, in the back of your mind, there has to be that gnawing uncertainty of, why did we lose that match? And, somewhere or the other, there has to be a loss of confidence. Don't you think so?
Yeah, definitely. It's all part of the game, if I'm being honest. Like, yeah, you play all these matches in a single day. You play a best of three. You play a best of five. It's all about that how you handle that mental game. You have to be strong enough for to going into the second match. Despite even if you lose to 13-0, it's still there's a second map to play. You have to go in to that map with your full focus, your full confidence. You just can't go in there half thinking that, oh, we lost the last map. What if we don't perform here as well? What happened in the past has happened in the past. It doesn't matter anymore. You have to carry on and move forward with your team, and that is what the side of the squad have to do, and what these players have to do. It doesn't really matter they lost all those matches in the past. Right now, they have to get things together, get the teamwork back, get the communication, everything, make sure everything's on the same page, and go into the match with their full strength. That's the best they can do right now, and that's what they need exactly right now. Because if they keep, keep underperforming like this, we might not see them in the upcoming playoffs.
Absolutely. I mean, Sus Squad is a team that has been around for a while now, but unfortunately, they just seem to be lacking that same gravitas and the same tenacity that some of these other teams have had in the group standing so far. But you never know. It could all change in a day. That's just how it is in the Esports Club Gauntlet. A day before you can see VALOR beat some of the best teams in the country, and then they might just lose to a team who is at the bottom of the score. It's just an example, but that's kind of how it goes over here. But let's actually have a look at Team Enigma now. Let's actually have a look at all of their players and their names. I'm quite sure a lot of people are going to be familiar with them. It's going to be Hika, RVK, Antidote, Raw Fuel, and I believe Rexy. And that's going to be the squad for now. Uh, RVK, of course, coming in from Force One last season into Enigma has been a pretty wonderful addition for Enigma's roster, who has had a lot of changes in their lineup, but this lineup definitely looks promising. They kept Hika, of course, and Hika has been one of the most solid performers in Enigma. It still seems that somewhere or the other, Enigma, while they definitely have their strats down and they definitely seem to play and mesh well together against the best teams in the gauntlet, sometimes things just don't click for them.
Yeah, that's something that should definitely have to work on. I mean, they have a decent team. They all are they're like a perfect, they're like a really good a wound up clock. All the cogs are meshing together. They're all performing really well. The teamwork's there. The agent selection is just suited for everyone. And it's just one of those days where you're not feeling it. If one of your teammates not really performing, the rest of the team is sort of unable to keep up, and that's some of the problems that actually haunts Enigma. I believe if they can recover those, they can definitely be one of the stronger teams in this season. Because I mean, again, you talk about RVK, we have Rafuel, all these players. They're all so diverse, and they're all able to perform out whichever roles they take in a matchup really well. And when put all that together, Enigma, they're a force to be reckoned with, and hopefully all the issues about them sort of choking around in some of the matches will be fixed up, and we might see them in the future around that top four region.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a team that people look up to and think to themselves, well, here's a top contender. Here's someone who can go up against the likes of Global, who can go up against the likes of Velocity and take them down. And possibly, add some spice to this scene, which has been, just sort of global esports and velocity going back and forth for the longest time. But for Enigma to do that, they need to click well together this season. They need to win these upcoming matches, and they also need to make sure that they don't lose the important ones. Again, some of the big teams, if they're at least able to get a map, they're going to make sure that they continue to keep their spot here in the gauntlet. But they've only had 3 games so far, so I'm quite sure they're feeling comfortable going into this one. But let's actually have a look at the player spotlight for Enigma and see who is going to be their MVP and their player to look out for. It's going to be Rexy on the server, a man known for his consistency, a man known for his patience, and a man known for his game sense. A very deadly Sova at that. He knows all the lineups in the world. He knows just when he's supposed to peak. He knows how to back his teammates up. And the overall for a Sova player, Rexy is actually someone who does like to fight a lot. Usually you see the Sovas just take the back mantle and only come in when the duelists are out of commission. But Rexy oftentimes can take the initiative himself. He is someone who, in those situations, if he's playing the Sky or the Sova, he will go out and he will look for those frags. Much like Hunter from VALOR, I mean, I've noticed the similarity between them, and even Sai for that matter. It just seems that initiators these days are a lot more proactive than before.
Yeah, I mean, especially on the Sova, being a consistent player, having patience, as you said, Floki, is an extremely important trait as a Sova player, because not only are you playing as sort of a headquarter for all the information on the opposition team for your own team, you also have to be able to use those utilities for your own usage. Like as a solo player, you have to be able to use those recons and shock darts to your own use, so that it's not always just a team play. You can play out solo as well, just like some of the ways that Sky and Breach work their flashes with. Sova can use that ability too, and I believe Rexy with that Sova can do miracles for that. But yeah, we're gonna be moving on to the map vetoes for the match today between Sus Squad and Enigma Gaming. Let's see what we have in this best of 3 series. Starting
Oh
things
boy.
off on Ascent. Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're starting off on Ascent, but the next map is a map that just takes the air out of my lungs. It's going to be Fracture. Not a map that I've seen very often, a map that I personally avoid every single time I queue for this game. And of course, the decider is going to be Split. But man, just looking at this map veto itself, it does scream to me that Enigma is trying something new. Susquad picking up Ascent. This is probably the best choice they have. Of course, I mean, I don't mean to say that that because of where they're standing right now, that they should have picked a different map. But there are certain maps that you're very comfortable on. Is your enemy team going to be more comfortable on it? Probably, but you have to take that risk, because otherwise you're never going to improve. And Sasquatch, instead of throwing a wrench into the plans, they just kind of want to hone their abilities and just sort of make sure that they work on their mistakes and improve as a roster. And it's quite admirable for them. So they're going to go with Ascent, followed by Fracture, which is going to be Enigma's pick. And Susquad is going to be defending a map that some people say is somewhat attacking favored, but can be 50-50 if you've got the right agent comp. And Split, of course, a map that everyone loves to see, but no one loves to play. And I am one of those people. But yeah, going into this one, I do think that Enigma shouldn't be having too hard of a time against Susquad on Ascent and Fracture, but you never know. If the side of Susquad get the ball rolling, it can be very hard for Enigma to try and pull back, because Susquad is a team that just sort of needs confidence. Once they take a few rounds off of you, once they win those crucial buys, they're gonna be like, these guys, these guys are not so strong after all. Maybe we can beat them.
Yeah, definitely. And especially, I believe, with starting off with a win on Ascent would do miracles for them, because obviously, Ascent, it's a map that a lot of the teams are strong with. It's a very common map. It's not that difficult to master. And I feel like a lot of the teams pretty much have it in the bag. So picking this and especially against a team like Enigma, I feel like it's quite a risky move. But if they are able to get that win on that first map, I believe, despite whatever Enigma might have prepared on Fracture, that'll be a pretty decent start for Squad to play off that first win. And we might see that momentum roll into the second map, which they might give Enigma a run for their money. If it doesn't work out, it's fine, because Enigma, obviously, I believe, picking the map of Fracture, they definitely have something planned. They definitely have maybe practice on this map, scrimmed on this map. They have some strats ready. They have an agent comp they want to test out. And it's fine. If you lose that, it's all good, no problem. Going into Split, I believe, Squad, especially winning on Ascent, should give them that boost they need to be able to take this win. So Yeah, with that being said, there's not really much to predict. It's always that's the beauty of Valorant. It's both, the beauty and the ugly part of Valorant is that you can't really predict what's gonna happen. As you said, the best team in the world can be playing maybe some, I don't know, maybe some tier 2 team that's been, shaking
Oh
things
yeah,
around a little bit, and overall just you just see a bloodbath on that matchup. So we
absolutely.
never really know what's gonna happen.
Hey, I 100% agree with you. You never know when a team is going to come out from the shadows and just take the world by storm and just surprise all of us. It's been a while since we've seen that in the Gauntlet. We have had that on occasions. We have seen some teams just take maps and even take games off of the best teams in the Gauntlet. But of late, that has been somewhat lacking. It'd be nice, it'd be a breath of fresh air if the side of Sus Squad do actually end up taking out Enigma. And Enigma is a team that I honestly think have a lot going for them. So for them to lose to South Squad, it's going to be a monumental task. I don't think South Squad can beat them just as easily as they might think they would. But yeah, there's one thing for sure. It's that if South Squad do manage to get some tempo going their way, they can have an easier time against Enigma because Enigma as a team, like we said, it's a new roster. It's taking some time to form. They're probably going to be still testing their ideas, right? They're going to be testing the waters. They're not going to be stepping in with both their feet. So when you're in that spot and you end up being taken out by a new squad, all of your ideas and beliefs and your foundations are shaken. And if you don't have those strong foundations, it can be kind of hard to get the ball rolling as a new team yourself. So it's just like I said, if Sus Squad do manage to get those first few round wins, just get that tempo in their favor early on, just get up to like a 3-1 or 4-1 scoreline, maybe they can be in the driving seat for the rest of the game. But we do have some word coming in from production, guys. In case you're wondering why the match hasn't started, we have ran into some technical difficulties at the moment. Seems to be some issue with the game, but as soon as we get that fixed, we're gonna jump right in. It's gonna take a little bit of time, so apologies for that. But should be going live soon enough. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, I do think that Enigma is a roster that still needs to establish that foundation. And if Sasquatch actually do end up winning it, they can shake that up very well. And Enigma, if they don't get that foundation up and running, there's not really a lot of seasons remaining for the Gauntlet. There's this one and then there's another one, but yeah, they're not gonna have that same testing grounds and same proving grounds to test their ideas again.
Yeah, definitely. And I especially feel like, despite Enigma, they only have played 3 maps, right? And even if they lose this, I mean, technically, they still have some time to work with. They can still, slowly and steadily win a few more matches and get back up there on the top 4. It's definitely a possibility. But again, losing to maybe a team that's not been performing the best in this series. Again, not saying that Sus Squad isn't the best team. They definitely have
Yeah.
that potential, but they aren't really on, going crazy with the frags or wins this match in this Group A stage. So, considering Enigma say they lose this matchup today, that's definitely gonna, as you said, shake up the foundations. That's definitely gonna affect their mental. That okay, we had a better prepared team, we had our better momentum, and everything should be on paper on a much better stage compared to the side of Squad. But despite all that, we didn't come out with a win. That might affect you mentally. But yeah, half the game of Valorant is mental. Half the game of any esports is related to your mental game. You have to not let that affect you. Enigma, they better remind themselves that again, we still have a lot more matches to go. We are barely through with the halfway point of this group stage. So there's still more than enough time for them to make up for it. But the thing is, do they keep telling themselves that? Let's say they lose one match here and they lose one more there. You can't keep telling yourself that. You have to maintain that consistency. And just because you lose one match doesn't mean you're going to win the next one. You have to prepare for that next one, learn from the mistakes you made today, and make sure it doesn't happen in the future. So overall, what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot going on in this matchup. Every match is has a lot of factors that go into a whole tournament. If you lose one round, it might affect you for the rest of this group stage, and that might change your play style, which might change your team play, and a lot might happen. A ripple effect might start off. So I believe both sides, they want to start off this matchup perfectly and go in and finish things off with a beautiful victory. That should be their objective, and in order to obtain that objective, they're gonna have to play the hell out of each other.
Absolutely. And hey, what better place to do that than the TC Gauntlet itself? But guess what? We're ready with the game. So we're going to jump right in and see what agents they're going to be picking up for themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going live with Ascent, Enigma Gaming versus Sus Squad. Let's see who comes out on top here. And both sides picking up the jet. Well, not both sides, but at least Enigma picking up the jet for raw fuel. No big surprises over here. He is a player who plays that jet rather splendidly. And for the side of Susquad, of course, is going to be TEAMXO picking up that jet himself. Let's see who ends up fragging out over here. I do imagine that Enigma are not going to be too rattled by whatever Susquad throw their way. They're going to be able to adapt and overcome whatever it is that Susquad have in store for them. So let's see what it is that Susquad decides to pick up here. They've got the KO lined up here. They're hovering over it, and I hate this because every single time I think to myself there's going to be a KO pick, they switch out. Unless I'm watching EXO, I can never be sure if someone's going to pick up that KO.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like KO is a bad option, but KO definitely doesn't do the whole team justice. Unlike a Sova, you definitely, if you play a Sova, Sova can solo play an initiator role in the whole matchup. If you decide to go for that one initiator agent composition, but but again, if they go with that KO, the KO definitely does need another accompanying initiator to work with, maybe a Sky, maybe a Sova, but here, as we see the region selections coming in, he's going to be going with the Sova anyway. So we see a double duelist composition coming out of the side of the squad, the Raze and the Jet being picked up. In the meantime, a double initiator lineup being picked up by Enigma. I gotta say, both are nice and tested. Again, I'm not really sure if the Raze is the best option in a sense. Obviously, there are ways to utilize those satchels and play the way the Raze plays. Fly around, get into the site, do the entry, stuff like that. But is it? I don't know how team based that's gonna be, but again, let's see what the side of Susquad come up with.
See what Susquad can come up with, because they're gonna have to come up with something ingenious to try and take down Enigma. Enigma, like the name suggests, is not an easy code to crack. You're gonna take a lot of time figuring out what these guys like to do. And guess what? Even the top teams haven't figured it out just yet, because they just haven't had that many games. It's just been 3 games. Let's just jump straight into the match and see what they're actually gonna do over here. With that out of the way, it's 16 seconds remaining until the match starts. Let's actually have a look at the setup over here. I do believe they're going to be playing this out in rather cookie cutter way. They're going to throw the jet towards mid, have a spot out in the aggression. The Sky's in there to help, and they're going to play B very passively. Early recon dart towards mid to feel things out, and they straight up just taking the run towards A shot. They're not even going to try and stop anywhere. They're not going to check mid. The smokes are going to help provide cover, and they've made their way towards A shot. The Boombot doesn't spot an Antidote, but Antidote needs to get moving. The Antidote bomb is completely destroying him. Boxy, though, does end up getting followed by RVK's Nanoswarm, and Chu ends up finding one. Styx gets Antidote in return. A 3v3 now for the side of Enigma and Susquad, and no one's on the A side. Everyone coming in from the backstab. 2 from A shot and 1 from A main.
Here.
Raffin getting that frag, allowing him to bring the equalization, but the spike's gonna go down in that A side, and now they're ready for the postman on the side of Susquad. Again, they have the Astra and the Killjoy to work with. That's a really good combination. Even if they didn't have much time to set up, with that Swarm Nade blocking out the player in heaven, that being Raw Fuel, they can have some more time to place those utilities and have a game plan going for the crossfires. But now RBK, the only one in that A main area, he's trying to make something happen. But the rest of the players from Enigma coming from heaven. The trade comes in from Rex. He's going to trade out Raw Fuel. And RBK with a follow-up. It's all onto Styx. The bot's doing so much damage onto him. He's going to try and destroy it. But no, Rexy goes for the frag and gets the tag in. It's going to be the first round going in favor of Enigma. They do lose a few players, but it's the pistol round. Not a bad attempt from the side of Susquad, though. That was an interesting idea to rush into the site, but I guess the postman just didn't work out in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, the start looked really good for Susquad. They managed to make all their way towards A shot. They deal a bunch of damage over to Antidote. Just put him down to such low HP that he has no option but to try and take a fight, and he gets instantly taken out. Unfortunately, they did end up losing another player somewhere in the midst of that. I didn't quite catch where it happened, but it effectively made it a 3v3, and I think that's actually what sort of broke the camel's back there. If it weren't for that 3v3, they could have definitely taken the round with 4 members still alive. But we'll see how they play out this eco. AZ gonna smoke off A shot, and they're gonna try to make their way towards mid. No, they're actually pushing A shot again. Cocky seems to be leading the way here. There's going to be direct shot following him. Spike is going to be given over as well. All they're looking for this round is a plant, nothing more. They're going to be very happy if they get that going. And Raw Fuel's already out towards B main, trying to find some information, trying to see where they're going to be going here. They might just find a lot of it. AZ is going to get spotted. The Owl sees him. Rawfuel dinks him up. AZ still alive. He dinks him back in return, but Rawfuel will be able to get the kill. TEAMXO finds Antidote in the meantime with the Sheriff. REK peeking out with the turret and the Spectre. Will be able to get a kill. Rawfuel finds Chu in the meantime, leaving TEAMXO all by himself. Hey, I mean, he's gotten one kill. He's done enough. And at this point, he's just waiting for people to put him in his grave, but he's going to be putting one from the enemy before that happens.
I have more tests.
Finally, REK is going to clean up the mess. A good eco coming out for the side of Squad. They take out 3 players. There's going to be 3 rifles repurchased. The economy not going to be looking all that good for Enigma.
Yeah, indeed, that's not bad eco. I think the icing on the cake would be that they get the spike plan down, but again, Enigma realized that, okay, we have the Spectres, they only have pistols, let's just go for these frags. And they were able to play on their aggression and take them down, but looks like the aggression might be a little bit too much. They did lose 3 players, as you said, and that's affecting them right now, as we see all rifles for the side of Squad. We did see one Spectre for Chu, but still, compared to the buys of Enigma, they are in a much better situation, but Hika's gonna get the first frag onto Tuki. And a follow-up by Rawfuel. Looks like this might not be the worst bonus round for them. And Rawfuel through the smoke with the classic rifle. He gets one more onto TEAMXO. Already 3 players down. Trying to push into big cover rifle with Rawfuel. Okay, single-handedly says, no, you're not coming to B. Not today.
Yeah, what an absolute mammoth just standing in their way. There's just no way inside to be. It's just Rawfuel just standing there like a giant hairy elephant, just being like, nope, you shall not pass. This is my area. And he does it all with a Spectre, by the way. That wasn't even the Phantom in his hand. So great stuff here from Enigma. Just a perfect read on the situation too. They were so aggressive there along with Hika. Just getting a lot of that B main control early on, and well, they're rewarded. Now, looks like the side of Squad is going to be taking the rest of their party towards A. And guess what? You're going to line them up there as well. Nick gets him in turn, but Hika cleans up to himself, looking for the third one. My god, this round was over before it even started. 2 ultimates on the line. One for Hika, the other for
one of my creatures, it's a good
Somebody check the clock on that. That was a really quick round. Starting off things, Rawfuel with a couple of frags, and Hika realized the situation. The communication was really well there. Rawfuel was able to, read the information that, okay, I think everyone's here. As soon as Rawfuel went down, Hika went for the peak, and the side of Squad were caught off guard. They were reloading their rifles, and they weren't ready for one more player peeking at them. Nika took full advantage of that. 4-0 is the scoreline, and wow, we already have a pretty decent lead for the side of Enigma. I expected this to be a little bit more close, but we still have long ways to go. So let's see what Squad can pull out. But for now, AZ is going to be out immediately. Operator bot for Rawfuel. That's going to be a weapon that eliminates him. Meanwhile, now the side of Squad, they are going to be also pushing out towards A. And meanwhile, Hika is actually pushed into Wine. Oh, the jiggle peek comes in from Antidote. They now know he's there, but here comes Hika for the speak, but he's going to be taken down. But Antidote! Okay. Getting a trade and one more. Taking down 2 crucial players for the side of the Squad. And looks like whatever foundation they had built up on that A main is destroyed.
My god, I mean, that was bloodthirsty coming in from Antidote. Hika messed up his spray. He's like, no, you don't get away with that. And he peeks out and he destroys 2 people in quick succession, leaving only Corki and TEAMXO to their own devices here. And it's going to be hard for them to accomplish anything because they have no map control. I mean, they can try to go into A main, but there's still a couple of stars remaining for Antidote over here. So he can delay them for quite a while if need be and make their life a little bit
30
harder.
seconds left.
He's got the gravity well ready as well. Can't get the complete blood going. Rawfuel cleans one up. At this point, they clean him up, but Rawfuel styles on them with the Sheriff. Says, not today, sir. Not today.
Straight up headshots. One with the operator, one with the Sheriff. Man, he's just taking names today. Absolute beast coming out from Rawfuel. And it's only been 5 rounds. He's already 12-3 on the KD. Meanwhile, the rest of the players, I mean, RDK hasn't even died once yet, so not a bad start for Enigma. Actually, this is one of the best starts they could have hoped for. Meanwhile, Squad, they are looking like they're trying to establish map control early on, but the aggression from Enigma is just, backfiring their plans. Look at that. They, again, willingly wanted to push into that B main super quick, but look at that read coming out from Enigma. They used those utilities to push them back, and Rawfuel, he's gonna go on ahead, say no. Again, no entry into B. Destroys that drone, goes for another repeat, misses the shot though. AZ's gonna be taken straight onto him. But there's RVK, who misses as well. Cocky's gonna get that frag onto him, but Rex is gonna get a quick trade. Still a 3 versus 3 in anyone's games yet. But this is again a buy. Yeah, they have weapons still to work with.
Sure do, and guess what? Rexy's gonna be taken down. It's the
Spike
baseline
down,
being
you
open and complete.
last
Spike
player
is up towards side.
Ooh.
Side of Susquad, but just as I say that, they actually stabilize. They capitalize on the situation and get themselves around. 5-1 now. Cross in favor of Enigma, but Susquad fighting back. I mean, good for
Yeah,
them
they don't
morale,
wanna-
but their economy, well, that can't be fixed.
It can be fixed. They need to get some more rounds in their favor. I guess maybe if they can pick up a Blade Storm. Okay, no, Drixo, he's far away from the Blade Storm. So yeah, they just have to work with the weapons they have right now. Try and get the win if possible. Not lose more than 3 players, or I guess. But regardless, what they need more is besides getting rounds, is building up a proper economy. And there's no other way to do that than actually getting the spike down and winning a few rounds. But oh my god, the spam through the smoke. Hika's gonna get that frag, some assistance from RVK. That's the boombot pass. Satchel's in from Cocky, but he's gonna get taken off. RVK, nice shot onto the head. And despite all that denial inside of Susquad, they're still knocking on the door of this A short. They're still trying to get in. Caught now on the left side is AZ. He's trying to cross. He should try and cross, because this is a dangerous position he's playing in. He does get one frag though onto RVK. He's trying to fall back now. Chew with an operator. Holding onto the angle. Can he find a frag here?
Yeah, it's a 4v3 now. But Enigma is still gonna hold their ground. They have no reason to make any moves whatsoever. No map control available here for the enemy team. Susquad still scrambling for it across the map. They're trying to make their way towards B main, but it's waiting there for them. Might be walking straight into a
You
crowd
want to
here.
find it?
Do not see this. They do not see the
Pulling
gravity well.
them
This
in.
could be a big
30
disaster.
seconds
These
left.
left killed the gravity well rather early on. Good position away. The recon dot Squad's got the shock dart. Barely avoided there. And he's gonna stay alive for the time being. But 3 people walking in, Antidote to just line him
Antidote.
up. They don't check it! Oh, he gets 2 of them, leaving AZ all by himself. He's looking for the cleanup. He's not gonna find the bricks. He's there. 6-1. Antidote shuts them all down. And any glimmer of hope that they may have had in that round just got taken away right at that moment.
That round was played absolutely beautifully by Enigma, reading the situation really well. They're good on the reaction. Like, they realize, okay, this is the positioning of the enemy. How do we use our utilities? How do we peek? How do we hold these angles? And we see that a lot of noise was made on the A short. Again, the Sarasa squad lose 2 players, but even after that, all 3 of them were still holding on there. Enigma could have easily flanked, maybe pushed down mid, maybe pushed down B main. They didn't do that. They stayed and held their positions. They were reading that if a rotation was being pulled by Sarasa squad or not. Because for now, they definitely denied the entry into A short. And if they rotate, they're gonna run into their gun, so there's no reason for them to go aggressive. But again, going after this next round, eco for the side of the squad. The economy is not the best. They don't even have armor to work with, as we see a couple of frags go in their favor. Enigma just get traded. Okay,
What?
RBK, Hika's gonna get traded as well onto TEAMXO. Rawfield misses the top flick. 3 versus 2 scenario. This run has turned around. Rixo's gonna be picking up that rifle. And they're gonna try and get this bomb down. Default shock darts delay the spike plan, but not stop it.
Spike
They
planted.
see the server, they get all the information as well. They see the killer, they see the jet as well as the server recon.com. Rex is gonna be quick to break it up. Nanoswarm delaying his advance, but this is all smoke and mirrors, a distraction for Antidote to come in and spring his trap, but he's given noise.
Made noise.
They know he is here. Don't mind the board, but he's a 2v1 away. Dials are gonna put him out of the misery. Rexy good for 1. Is he good for more than 1 though? 6.
enemy
Still standing
remaining.
strong, low HP, but Shu's gonna be there to finish him off. 6-2, they will keep the dream alive. Thrifty here for the side of Sus squad, but at this point, it's just to equalize the score. They cannot get the lead anymore in this half. But still, they're mitigating damage, Kirito. This is still gonna make sure that when they switch over to the other side, they have a fighting chance.
Yeah, again, it's the best they can do right now is a 6-6, which is definitely not a bad score at all. Being able to pull back from a 6-2 scoreline to a 6-6 will do wonders for your momentum. And again, going into the next half, you're on defense. It's a much better position to be in, and you can start off with a clean, a fresh plate. Just nothing to worry about. Whatever happened in the last half happened. You just play this to the best of their potential, but not like that. Raw Fuel just goes for an open peek and Drixo's not even looking at the right angle. Just looking at the sky and don't shoot me. He's just praying to the gods of Valor and don't kill me right now as I go in for this peek. But yeah, didn't work out in his favor as we immediately go into a 4 versus 5 situation. Oh, bro, look at that satchel movement from Hockey. He's definitely got that raise down.
Yep, someone practices the raise in the lobby with the satchels. Not something that you can get right on your first try. So trust me, I've tried it, but 5v4 now for Enigma. They're going up short again. This seems to be Sus Squad's default. This is something they like doing very, very often. It's not working out just yet for them. They've sent 2 players in that direction, but they still don't see anyone that finally Corky's going to give up on and make his way towards a shot. There's only 35 seconds remaining in the round. It's now on the gravity. Well, the stopping him distracts an antidote. Puts a bullet straight in his head. Corky didn't even see it coming, leaving them in a 3v5 now. And RVK is still holding on to mid, so mid is out of the picture. Antidote's going to find one more for his troubles and takes out Sticks. This just keeps getting worse and worse for Sus. They caught the operator. There's the silver lining that you're looking for. Maybe they end up finding RVK more on 2. A big whiff comes in for him, and Rexy is going to take out AZ as well.
Enigma winning out that round. Now they established that they're not going to go into the second half at a disadvantage, and they're definitely going to be taking the lead in the next one. So again, it's not the end of the world for the side of the squad. They can still pull it back, but yeah, they need more rounds in their favor. Again, if you lose this to a say an 8-4, it's not the worst scoreline, but again, it's not going to be as good as maybe a 7-5 or something like that. But again, they have time to work with. Hopefully, it's gonna work out in their favor. But yeah, they definitely need to diverse the strategies a little bit more. Every time I see, they're doing pretty much the same thing, aren't they? They're pushing out of that B link. They're trying to, make their way into mid, and again, there we see Ace is gonna get a frag onto Rexy. Usually it's the other way around, but then they try and go into A short. But this time they're rushing down mid. Boombots send down A short to ensure no one's gonna be flanking them. But oh, RVK spots out the head of Drixo. He's gonna take him out. 4 versus 4 scenario. He's trying to delay the entry over here. Meanwhile, rotation isn't actually being done from the side of A. They're still holding on.
Yeah,
this could be a really good read if AZ goes for a rotation right now to the A side.
Yeah, absolutely. But they don't know that just yet. They have no way of figuring it out. They actually think that Enigma's on a big backstab, but they're just holding for now. Not making any moves. So they're kind of stuck in no man's land. They need to make their move, and RVK is not going to let them. He's going to be good for 1. Rockfield chimes in from elsewhere, creating a distraction, and RVK kind of stuck over here. Needs to fight his way out. Will not be good for more than 1, but there is Antidote coming in. They're making sure that he mitigates the damage, and Rockfield sends them backing.
Really good patience coming out of Enigma though.
I got things to do.
I mean, RVK, he was under a lot of pressure, wasn't he? Coming in from that mid to B area. He was taking fire left, right, and center. Obviously, he had raw fuel to play with him, but again, he wasn't really providing much cover until they pushed all the way out of market with that operator. Only then was raw fuel able to, use that weapon to help his teammate out. Until then, RVK, he was in a very difficult scenario, and I feel like a lot of teams in that scenario would have asked for a rotation, would have at least asked one player to flank down the mid. But Enigma, they were like, okay, let's see if they go back to their default again, which is the short push. They didn't, but they got the flank in the nick of time to deny them the win on that round. 8 is the scoreline as we begin the next one. It's a buy round for both sides. So, let's see if Sus can at least get something in their favor before the end of this half.
If they get 1 round and then lose another, they'll have the curse in their favor.
Ooh.
But the real curse right now is being spotted out by that recon trap. Yeah, this bush is cursed actually. They can't push this anymore. I mean, they're gonna try to with that Hunter's Fury. Antidote's gonna come in. Gravity was gonna prevent Corky from moving forward. Nano form is there, but Antidote chooses to stand and fight. Gets taken out. RVK spams through the smoke and finds Alex on in the meantime. RVK going through the smoke is gonna become another one. Can he take the third? No, he cannot. AZ's gonna trade him out, but still, he's done enough. Raw fuel coming in for the backstab along with Hiccup. This could be dangerous. Good job. He hears it, but look at what he's doing.
No.
Very nice, but Rexy is gonna be there for the cleanup. Ah, boy, that was late.
Last round in the half.
Rafael was feeling himself like, I'm the jet plan. I'm gonna go into the air. I'm gonna kick my legs out. I'm gonna, just push them straight into your chest, and he misses every shot and takes a bow out towards the end. But they've got it covered, so it's okay. No harm, no foul. Look at that money. Yeah, they can
It's all
afford to make plays like this. I mean, that's basically what they're saying now.
It's all good. 9-2 is a pretty
Find
decent
the weak
scoreline. As we
point
move into the
and
last
break it.
round, one thing, I mean, I don't know if Enigma is actually going to take this into consideration, but obviously the 9-3 scoreline is a bit of a cursed one, isn't it? We all talk about it every now and then. I don't know, maybe the Central Squad are hoping for the curse to work in their favor, but with that shock dart, you really gotta wonder if Enigma are really in a curse scenario. Another shock dart goes in, doesn't really find anybody. The first one did a lot of damage, but okay, Drexo through the smoke realizes the player could be holding an angle there, and it's all on to Rexy to hold on to this. Astro Utility will be denying entry for the spot for now, but Drexo, another frag onto Rexy. The headshots are on point for now. 9-3 might be the scoreline after all as we go into the post plan. Spike is gonna go down 5 versus 3. No one's going for the flank for Enigma, where we do see Chu is gonna be holding on there. But all the players are going for the retake.
They do know they're all softened up. I'm quite sure Rexy has conveyed that information over to his team, so they know that they're all rather low. They've got no shields to work with, at least most of them.
Oh, the
The only
flank
one
though.
somewhat heavy is the Jet. And Raw Fuel now, in the meantime, is going to be looking to start things off here with the Phantom. Is good for one, just playing around the Cloudburst rather well. Good for two, but Gorky is going to be there. Gets that kill in turn. And they're going to be able to hold it down 9-3 against Enigma. They're celebrating.
Switching
They're happy.
sides.
They've got the curse in their favor and they know it.
The curse might work out in their favor, it might not. You never really know when the curse decides to activate itself. It's a bit of a moody curse, you know. It's doesn't really work out. Every time there's an entry, you can't really be like, oh, curse, we won. GG, go next. It's not like that. It's a bit of a roll on a dice, but
Absolutely.
not a bad round to end things off. Again, it's not the best scoreline they would hope for as a squad, but the last one was played really well. They were able to enter into the side. That initial frag onto RVK made so the entry into the B side so much more easier. Not only just taking on the killjoy, leaving Rexy all alone. He tried to hold on to it, but yeah, he was taken out as well. And the flank coming in from two really good plays. But as we go into defense, I'm not really sure. They are playing the double duelist lineup. It could either work out really well or it could go horribly wrong for them. I believe having a couple of initiators is not the worst idea in this map of Ascent, especially on retake with sticks. He's under a lot of pressure. The entry is being done. Drix is going to get the first one on Rocky, who dashed in, trying to make the entry for his team. He's going to die while doing that. So as a 4 versus 5 begins, Enigma on a quick rotation, but look at this flank. Oh, he's not even. Oh.
What is that doing? He takes his mind out and
Okay.
in that direction.
Can he find one more?
No, he's
reloading.
reloading.
They're both reloading.
Both an interval between the movie. It's not the movie just yet. Now it will continue. And Rexy is going to come out on top, but it's still a 3v4. Enigma not out of murky waters just yet, Kirito, but that was not the type of entrance they were looking for.
Yeah,
Well-
definitely that early denial. Oh my god. Carry on.
Yep. It seems that Rexy is just going to make a lot of noise. He's trying to pull some distraction towards B. Got the recon dart and the shock dart to work with. He is going on an
30 seconds
adventure.
left.
Little does he know that there's absolutely no one towards B there, and he's going to take a sweet time clearing this out, but Enigma might be lulled into a false sense of security. Wait, no, Rexy's actually made his way towards B. They're moving all out of the site.
They're pulling
Pika,
all players
and
away.
they might just be able to get a plant going for themselves. They don't know just yet. Now the killjoy
10
hears that, and
seconds
they
left.
know that this is the side of Enigma, pulling out a great fake with just a few seconds remaining on the clock. 4.5 seconds before the round was over, and they get the
player
spike
standing.
down. And sure, they're gonna all fall over here, but hey, that's not what they were looking for. They got the spike planted. They can buy in the next round.
Yeah, I mean, it's they have the option to go for a force buy, but again, I feel like they would have preferred to take down a couple more players. Again, that flank coming down from
Oh yeah.
Mkoki, I didn't even realize he was there until I saw the perspective of I think it was Rexy who was walking behind, and I just saw this blue markers like, wait, he's not supposed to be there, and it's like, okay,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
on a flank. And a really good patience play. If only he got one more there, I think his that would have been really good for the team. You know, not taking down a couple of players early on, maybe change the flow of the round early on. But yeah, it's not really, doesn't really matter right now. They came off with a win. They had 4 players alive. Spike was planted, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. But 4 buys are gonna come in though from Enigma. They're gonna go for 3 Spectres and a couple of Sheriffs. It's RVK putting that bot early on to make
Placing
some room
swarm
for the
grenade.
entry.
Swarm grenade
That's
out.
gonna make things easier
Out
for
of
him to
charges.
peek.
Ah, turret down.
but it's gonna be destroyed. But Rawfield, okay, they pushed down mid. I didn't even realize that happened. Entry into the B side has been done. Series was smoked off, and Rawfield's dashing in. In the backside, there is one player taken down. It's two. AZ trying to deny the spike plan. He's gonna be good for one, but RVK with a trade. 2 versus 4 scenario. And looks like Enigma are gonna run away with this force buy.
One enemy remaining.
RVK coming out from the cloud burst. It's a shot, but can't connect. Antidote will clean them up though. And that's why they were looking for the plant here. Great Tron coming in here from the side of Enigma, just completely tilting the economy in their favor. Look over to the side of Sus Squad. They completely broke this round. If they buy any weapons at all, I'm quite sure some of them are not going to be able to afford weapons next round. I mean, TEAMXO's going for the Marshal. No fear whatsoever. He only has 1,000 credits remaining in his, in his bank account. So, yeah, after this one, I don't think he's going to have enough money remaining for a full buy. It's a big risk over here, but if it works out, it could do wonders for them and just make this game a lot more interesting. 10-4 now, and TEAMXO, what the hell did he take damage from?
How is he? Did
Rexy shot dart him or something?
Yeah, I think
could have been.
Definitely could be a possibility there, because obviously there are lineups for shotguns that go into default position. I certainly watched some average Jonas videos that do that, but we can see the fragging's kicking off. Cookie's gonna get the first frag. Trades are gonna happen though. It's 4 versus scenario, but low HP for a couple of players for the side of the squad. Rexy is gonna find one more of the stakes. Not before Six gets a frag with the Bucky though. Shotgun sends the way of AZ, not touching him. 2 versus 2 scenario, low HP on Rixo. So I guess a lot of the heavy lifting should be done by the side of AZ. He's only got a Sheriff to work with, no armor. Meanwhile, Spectre and a Phantom, full armor for Rexy and Hika. They don't have the spike though. So that might be something they can play off of.
Oh, Rexy, he fell. He ended up making noise, and now he's decided to just full send it instead.
Don't get bit, don't get bit.
They do end up spotting out TEAMXO, so that's gonna be a
30
silver lining
seconds
for
left.
them. Trying to know where the Astra is. Recon dart goes through with the flash, and the flashing Rexy himself. Hika's gonna be good for one. Can he find the second? No, he has to reload. Oh, my goodness, Rexy was there. Just saved the day. That could have been a disaster.
That definitely could have gone wrong. I mean, still, I feel like in that 1v1, Rexy did have the better weapon, I believe. No, oh no, he had a Spectre, but still, Spectre versus a Sheriff, I believe it could have been, could have gone either way. So we never really know what's gonna happen if the frag had gone in the favor of the side of Sus Squad there. But
oh yeah,
for now, it's very much in the favor of Enigma. 11-4, although we did see for the first pistol round going in favor of Sus Squad, that force by definitely changed the face of the matchup. Again, this time I feel like I'm seeing a lot better usage of utility coming out from the side of Sus Squad, especially on defense. I feel like the Astra and Killjoy are really shining. They're not really playing those agents together, which is something I really want to see. Because I say it every time I see an Astra and a Killjoy playing together on the same agent composition. They should definitely, play off each other's utility, because they make such a deadly composition. And Astra, I mean, I feel like she's the most potent with Killjoy. She can work with any other agent as well. But, I mean, with a Killjoy, they're just an unstoppable force. I'm not seeing that for now, but individually, not bad utility coming down from the side of Sus Squad. But that's not really stopping the side of Enigma from actually gaining a lot of this, gaining a lot of ground, especially towards mid and A side. A short is riddled with utility though. It's gonna be difficult to push in that, especially with it's holding on with an operator.
Oh yeah. In the meantime, you okay. Maybe taking a chill pill for now, not really going a bit too aggressively.
30 seconds left.
A bit of an awkward setup coming in here from the side of Sus Squad. They've been pushed all the way back towards heaven. They've got no map control whatsoever. AZ will find REK, so that's a silver lining. AZ was there on the backstab and he's trying to pinch them, but Rawfield's gonna open things up by taking 2 players out towards heaven. And look at TEAMXO, he's trying to make some sense
One
out
enemy
of it, but they can't do anything. AZ's gonna get cleaned up, so is Cocky and Enigma. Yeah, this is just them completely stomping the side of Sus Squad to the curb. They just don't seem to have a chance of making a comeback here.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be really difficult for them now, especially 12-4 is already here, match points here for them, and economy isn't the best. This is a situation you definitely want to avoid at all costs. Even if you're losing the matchup, isn't it right? You definitely want to play the match point scenario for your opponents with the best weapons you can afford. And right now, them being a squad, only able to afford specters, a marshal, and a sheriff, not the best they were hoping for. Again, this is only the first map. They should be able to pick things off
I've
on
got
the
your
next one.
trail.
This is their own map pick. That's a question that
Yeah.
really looking the answer for. They definitely should at least put up a better fight on their own map pick. And considering Nicholas Fracture, okay, let's not talk about the future now. Let's continue with this present, which is very much going in their favor. So squad taking out 3 players, maybe a 4th. Antidote does have a better weapon, but
Last
they will
player
play it quite
standing.
safely.
I have
Chu's
this
gonna get a frag on
spike
the Rex.
down,
With trade of
B.
antidotes. We're gonna find one more. One versus
enemy
2.
remaining.
Gets up another one onto Drixo, but not enough.
Satchel out.
Offen's gonna get the final frag. Can he pick up a rifle? He will.
I mean, Sasquatch are keeping themselves in the game here, but they're still just fighting against the tide. Look at their money. It's not good at all. Chu doesn't even have enough money for a rifle. His teammate Styx is on a Spectre. He's gonna be dropped a Vandal over by someone. I'm not quite sure who that is. That might have been AZ. I could be wrong, but yeah, money not the best for the side of Sasquatch. If they win a couple of rounds convincingly, though, it could go back in their favor because Enigma's economy is also paper thin at the moment. Just one round loss and they're gonna be down to the dumps. It's gonna be sheriffs for them and a couple of frenzies at best.
Recalling my bot.
But are Enigma gonna let that happen? That's the bigger question. And well, REK,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like he's gonna let that happen. Gonna let go of that lockdown. Cover the entirety of shots. And I don't think there's any way they can gain some control back of aim. Oh my god, look at that ult! It actually avoids the Hunter's doing completely. Styx is gonna get detained in the end. Hicker's gonna find AZ in the meantime. Oh my god, RVK, that positioning is completely outplayed every
want
single
to
player
find it?
on the side of Sasquatch. And Hicker, he's gonna be healing his teammates up, patching up their wounds for now. RVK, even if he doesn't get a kill, he's not good enough. He's had enough impact in this round.
Last
Hicker
player
gets
standing.
cocky, and while cocky was good for one, that's all he was good for.
Spike
TEAMXO,
planted.
gonna pick up a Vandal, at least.
One player trying to hold.
But this is not gonna be easy for him. He's just gonna get spammed into oblivion.
Attackers
RVK
win.
is gonna get the credit for
me
that.
again when you're
Great
trying.
round coming in from the side of Enigma. Great map as well. Sasquatch, they never got the ball rolling.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that early read on that first half while they were playing their default, on and on again, trying to push into a short, a really good read coming out of Enigma to follow through on that. They're able to deny them almost every time, and that definitely helped them boost their economy early on and allowed them to even go for some troll shots in a couple of those rounds.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll be taking a look at the match highlights to actually review what happened in great detail, what happened in the last first map, and I believe there's a lot to analyze, Floki, especially
Oh, yeah.
considering that the side this was the map pick for Squad, and it feels like they didn't have the most diverse of strats in this map of Ascent.
Hey, run
And
down a shot. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, well, let's just try again.
I guess, but yeah, I would definitely prefer a team to have multiple plans or strategies ready for, especially a pretty common map like Ascent.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Squad should definitely try and at least get one map that is they're really good at. And considering they picked this, I felt like I should have seen a lot more coming out of them.
Absolutely. We never saw any mid-aggression. We never saw them try and take up control of A main and A shot at the same time. Go for a two-pronged approach. And Enigma could just treat them like a book at every single point. So this goes on to show that Sasquatch, they don't really have a lot of different strats, like you've mentioned, on the attacking side of this map. They were, just shooting blanks at some point and just hoping that at least some of it sticks. Maybe they're able to somehow make it work with a kill here and there, but it just never seemed to click together for them. And then they came to defense, and sure, they pulled some rounds. They pulled a round or two on defense, but that was too little, too late. I mean, they probably need a lot more room to work with when you're against Enigma. You need a couple more rounds to feel out their offense, to see what they like to do, to see what the default is, and to see what they're gonna do when they get desperate in situations. And Enigma, I mean, they just completely steamrolled Sasquatch. It didn't seem like Sasquatch had a chance.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely. I feel like the utility game was a lot weaker on for the CSS squad on attack
yeah,
as well. Defense looked pretty decent. Again, they, as you said, took a couple of rounds here and there, and utility was a lot more better. But overall, it needs to be on a much better state, especially considering you're playing against Team Enigma, the state that you're in. You need to take two steps at a time to cross the ladder right now, as and that's not what happening. And especially going into the next map, that's Fracture, that's picked by Enigma. I'm not really sure if I am feeling that much optimistic for the squad here. It might go in their favor again, as I said at the beginning of the match. You never know, but let's see what happens.
absolutely. Let's have a look and see what happens. Until then, you're watching LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial Apparel Partner 656, our accessories partner Cosmic Byte, our esports partner Aimlab. We're going to be taking a short break. Kirito seems to be needing one too. I need one as well. So we're going to take one and be right back with the next game. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3.
from the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3 powered by Crucial with our apparel partner 656, our accessories partner Cosmic Byte, and our esports partner Aimlab. Make sure you scan the QR code down below to get yourself a Red Bull. I'm Floki with me, Skirito. We're back with map number 2 between Enigma and Squad. Map 1, it went the way of Enigma, not something we were expecting. We did say that Squad, if they win out that first map, they could take it to split, they could make things interesting. It's their map pick. They should have some advantage going into it, but it just did not seem like it was the case. And I think we both felt that they were sort of repeating the same strategies again and again with, much less success every single time, they tried it. So, yes, our squad need to pull something knee out of the bag. Now we're going to move on to Fracture. And I have no clue what to expect here, Kirito. I mean, is this like a 1000 IQ play from the side of Squad where they've practiced Fracture for a long time and now they're like, you know what, we're just going to leave Fracture in the pool, Enigma's probably going to pick it up and we're going to be comfortable on it? Or is this just something that the side of Squad risk? Because I have no read on this whatsoever.
If this somehow is involved in Squad's plan, that's like some Inception level of a game strat planning. Because
Oh
How do
yeah.
you predict Enigma picking up a Fracture? Because we weren't ready for Fracture either. You said it yourself, Loki, that Fracture is a map we all love to avoid. But here we are with the map Fracture being picked by Enigma, and if don't feel like anybody was really prepared for it or was at least predicting it. So the fact that if this is a squad's plan, it involves them, predicting that okay, Enigma might pick Fracture for the second map. So well, props to them if they're able to pull it off. But for now, it seems very unlikely that that's what happened. Again, as we said, that winning that first map on Ascent would give them a boost, even if they didn't perform
Mm-hmm.
100% on Fracture. That would still carry on onto the map of Split. But looks like right now, especially after that performance, 13-5 on Ascent, their own map pick, I'm not really seeing this map of Fracture going too far, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Again, the same thing that I like to repeat before every match. You never really know what's gonna happen. Yeah, they might pull things out of the hat that we weren't really expecting, but Enigma, they're looking so damn strong after the map of Ascent, and this is their own map pick, and it's such a difficult map to master. So you don't just pick it, just for fun. You pick it when you know you're good at it. You know you have a strong strat that will definitely work out against any team. So I feel like Enigma, they're ready and they're roaring to go into the second map.
Yeah, I feel the same thing. I feel like Fracture is something that these guys have been working on in secret for a long time, and they're finally ready to show it to the world. They're like, here we are, here's a Fracture. We've got some concepts, we've got some theories. Let's put them to practice. Let's see if they hold any weight on their own, or if they just hollow from the inside and they're going to collapse here. But one thing's for sure, Fracture is something that everyone's going to enjoy watching. It kind of has the same effect as Split, right? Where you love watching it because you never know which direction this map is going to go in. It's an absolutely insane map. And then, when you're actually playing it, you're like, oh my god, why do I just wanted to play a game of Valorant? Why did I make the worst Why do I feel like I've made the worst mistake of my life? Yeah, that's just how it feels like, when you play Fracture. You're like, oh god, like what did I do? I mean, am I in the seventh circle of hell? Is this Dante's Inferno? Why am I here? And
Well,
yeah, that's
Fracture is a bit of a circle shape, isn't
it is.
it? It
It
is.
is. Yeah. I mean, you're
It's
right about that.
it's sort of a circle shape, so it could be exactly the seventh circle of hell. But again, from a viewer's perspective, it's a really fun match because you can see that okay, as there are two entries into either side, there are two bases for the attacker, right? So the defenders, we can see maybe a fake being put out on A main. There are a couple of players in A drop as well, so they're coming at A side from all ways around. And the side of the defenders are like, oh, maybe they're pushing A from both sides, so let's just go on and hold that. But what they do not know, which we will be knowing because we are obviously watching from the observer's perspective, is there's maybe a sneaky lurker or two pushing down towards B, and now the rest of the players rotate, and now the set of defenders are confused, like what just happened? We got bamboozled. Let's go back to A, and once they're at A, the whole game's flipped on the
Oh yeah.
attackers, the defenders. It's just complete. It's just a mess from a viewer's perspective. It's a great match to enjoy. So hopefully we will be having a good time. And we are going into the agent selection. That is one more topic that is really bugging my mind about. So what agents do you really go for in the map of Fracture? It looks like both side of Enigma, they definitely know what they're going for. The picks came in quite quickly. Is Hika going onto the breach? Rawfields on the jet as usual. RVK is going to be playing the Viper, an interesting pick. Rex is going to be playing the Cypher, and Antidote, he's hovering over the Astra. I'm not sure if he wants to go for it. It wouldn't be a bad pick to play two controllers on a large map
Oh yeah.
like Fracture, I feel like.
Absolutely. I feel like if anything, Fracture is one of those maps where having a double controller really shines, and just having a single sentinel or like one of each is, really pristine because you get yourself so many smokes, you get yourself so many ways to just make sure that the enemy has to take significant risks to get map control. That there's really a very clear and set path for you in the game on defense and offense. And I think if you can, just sort of bring that sense of cohesion on a map like Fracture, you're going to be in a good spot. So far we've seen them pick almost the same agent. I mean, same agent for agent, except
Choose
for
your
the raise.
agent.
There's no raise over on the side of Enigma, but there is a jet, and there is a jet on the side of Sus Squad too. This time it's going to be played by Chu. Koki is the last player standing, and he's thinking about that Killjoy. Not too sure how I feel about that pick. I feel like, Fracture is way too big of a map for a Killjoy to be effective, but we have seen some Killjoys, be really creative with the way they use their utility and cover a lot of ground with it. So, you never know. You know, Killjoy can't single-handedly give enough information to make sure that both sides of a site are covered. You know, one with the turret, the other with the alarm bot, of course. But hey, it's still not easy. You know, the Cypher, it's a lot more reliable. It's a lot more straightforward. Before we go into the game, I want your thoughts, Kirito. Who's going to take this game as well? That's what I want to know from you.
Well, honestly, from both momentum-wise and agent selection-wise, I feel like Enigma they definitely have an upper hand. I'm not counting Squad out yet. I'm definitely want to see what they are planning to come up with this agent selection and what they faced in the past map, how they're gonna react to this second one. I want to see what happens. But if I had to choose, as you said, if I had to make a decision, I feel like Enigma they definitely are looking the best in this matchup. And again, starting things off on the attack, their aggression will definitely be amplified. And look at how they're playing this. We have 4 players holding on to that A main side, and towards that other entry of A, which is through the dish, we have a Cypher playing there. And that being Rexy, obviously Cypher is a great agent to lurk with. But looks like he's not going to be doing any aggressive plays. It's going to be Rafield instead. That was a really good flash. He's going to be walking in all the way towards that rope, through the door, and getting that first frag onto TEAMXO. And now the players inside, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. It's Cocky, it's AZ. What are they going to do? They're getting surrounded from all sides, but AZ gets a frag onto RVK, traded by Hika. But still, Cocky's still in the side. Rotation is here, but doesn't matter. Enigma, they're getting all the frags. It's a 1 versus 3, and it's all onto 2.
Spike planted.
Oh man,
70
shoot.
HP on a Sheriff.
Yeah, he's been whittled down already. He's a hand cannon though. He's got a lot of firepower in him, but can he actually find the openings that he needs to be effective? And Cypher Case gets thrown his way just to distract and mess with him, and Chew, a little rattled by that, will be taken down. First round goes the way of Enigma. And I'm still not sure what part of the map is what. I mean, that's how confusing this map is. Well, so far, it seems that Enigma certainly have a couple of ideas how to play this. I like what their approach was. Instead of going directly through main into the side, they get dose control first.
It's pretty much new and
Make
fresh in our heads, but for now, Enigma feels like they're definitely experienced with this map, and
Yep.
they're definitely utilizing their 2 entries. And as we see again, this time going to the other spawn of the attackers is gonna be the Cypher, but okay. Cookie's gonna get a first frag onto Rocket. That's gonna be evenly traded by TEAMXO, but there's one more frag gonna be happening. So much is happening in this entry towards A. And coming out on
Spike
top
down
is
A.
gonna be the side of Squad. It's gonna be TEAMXO and Chew. It was alive. They're gonna pick up some guns. That the side of Enigma bot, so it's all onto Rexy. He is coming on from that A drop, the opposite entry onto the east side. Dropping will make some noise, and I believe they should have heard that.
No, I
Or
don't
have
think
they?
they did. They still
Or
don't
have
have an idea he's here. Oh, he's coming in with a big flank. They didn't read it the first time around. Are they going to read it now? There is a race holding the angle though, so it's not going to be easy for Rexy to line them both up. They both have Spectres. It's
One
going to be so
enemy
hard.
remaining.
Rexy, good for the first one. Takes no damage whatsoever. Really healthy. But does he not choose there? So let go of the camera. The noise has been made. Rexy trying to take that. But he will win it. Oh, with 3 HP. Rexy is an
My God.
absolute madman. Somehow crouches in the corner, stays alive, and gets the kill. And that's why you spend those extra 1,000 credits. That little bit of extra survivability he had there actually allowing him to win that duel.
Absolutely. Man, the way Chew actually gunned down at him, I was like, okay, there's no way he's surviving this, and winning this will definitely be a really good way to counter for the side of the squad. But right now, I mean, it wasn't a bad round. It was the buy round for the side of Enigma, and they were on the Spectres, so the fact that they were able to bring it down to a 1 versus 1 in the end is going to be pretty decent for the economy. But starting things off, again, not in their favor. Chew's going to be falling. It is their buy round. They do have rifles and full armor. Same for Enigma, but they are lacking from armor in some cases. But it looks like they're going to be trying to push this free from both entryways. Rex is going to take some damage there. We're going to walk in. No one's resisting them. Snake does go for a bit of a peek, and he's not going to get the
Spike
frag.
down,
Rex
B.
is going to get the trade in, but oh, he actually gets one before dying. So there's an equal trade, 2 versus 4 scenario as AZ is pushing
Spike
in from
planted.
Canteen.
Last player standing.
Okay. Well, looks like Enigma gonna clean them up. Looked a little bit hopeful for them for a second, but then Hika got a kill with the aftershock and he put a bullet in the brain of another, so yeah, after that point it was just downhill for the side of Squad. But there's the first buy round going the way of Enigma, and once again it's gonna be Squad going in for a bit of a save here. don't really have a lot of money to buy up any weapons. It's going to be a couple of sheriffs, maybe a frenzy here and there with light shields, a few pieces of utility, and that's it. That's all you're going to have for today. No three-course meals today, only scraps of bread that need to be distributed evenly amongst the side of Sus Squad, but are they going to be enough? A very spread out approach this time around from Enigma. Once again, 2 coming in from B bench and 2 coming in from B main. Corky finds Rawfield. The direct shot connects another. Rexy gets cleaned up. It looks like they are winning their battles on multiple fronts. RVK lets go of the snake. Byte good for 1 kill. Gets direct shot and Hiccup pulls it back by taking out Corky. Now it's a 3v3 again. Things have been stabilized. Hiccup looking to clear out the corner with the aftershock. Lets it go. Got the Rolling Thunder available. Is he gonna pop it? That's the question. They don't know where the rest of the enemy team is. Perhaps a SOA would have been useful in this situation, but they don't see them just yet. The Viper Wall is gonna go down. Spike is gonna be planted, but it is in the other part. Chu gets RVK in the meantime with a headshot, leaving them in a 2v2. Rolling Thunder comes in, but easy. He's got the angle on him. Hiccup's gonna get cleaned up. Antidote is gonna be taken down. No, he is not. He's still alive. That flash does not clip him. He's still standing strong. Now he's gonna be cleaned up, but he gets back to safety. In the smoke, still alive with the classic triple mercy gets him. Oh
Come on now. I'm anticipating
my god, Enigma! Someone managed to make that work.
Don't think it.
That was a little bit too close for me, being honest.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
sweating.
it looks like they're gonna be able to pull that out the side of Sus Squad. That was really well played. Getting those frags with the eco up is not an easy thing to do. AZ pushing out and making sure he gets the frag onto the breach Hika. He did use the ultimate there, which didn't really help out in the end. So that's something they're definitely not gonna mind you making sure they use up that breach ultimate and giving them the opportunity to use their own breach ultimate sticks. He's only away from 1, so retakes should be quite easy with that being in store. But still gonna be in favor of Enigma 4-0. They are gonna be able to go for buys. RVK is on a pistol. I'm not sure why I didn't go for a Spectre, which was definitely a good option, but looks like they are trying to go into this A site once again. Enigma Rexy again on this opposite spawn side. Here comes the flash and Rocky walking through the door. He's gonna go towards ropes. Is he gonna go above the ropes is the question. Looks like he's gonna keep his feet to the ground. On the side of Sus Squad, they're all playing inside the site. Hika does get the nice frag onto Chu. That was the operator as well down. Here comes the beat. But oh, Rafu, he's actually gonna push into mid. Gets a frag onto Koki. Sticks is gonna trade onto Hika. Still a 3 versus 4 scenario winnable for them as we see Rexy getting a frag trade from AZ.
One enemy
What? No, RVK. That is dirty. With the Classic, he gets a person with full shields on, by the way.
Go get him.
And now direct shots in a 2v1. How does he pull this one through?
30 seconds left.
I mean, Antidote's gonna get the spike plant for free. Well, that's one way. Takes the showstopper out, but he's gonna get shot in the head, and he doesn't even find Antidote for his troubles.
He did bring him to 17 HP, but yeah, it wasn't the best connection with the ultimate. I think he needed some information with the bot. His bot definitely needed to give him some idea of where one of the players were so he could isolate the fight, but yeah, it's still gonna be Enigma pulling through with another round. 5 in a row. All of them have been complete eliminations. They didn't win a single round through, by completing the objective or, exploding the spike or playing the time, anything like that. They won by simply killing every one of the players from the squad every round. And it's been working out for them. The aggression has been really nicely combined with this great usage of utility. The flash and dash combination working really well, and the attacker side of the map is definitely helping them out. As we see again another entry towards the 8 side. Rockfield just walks in, but this time AZ is ready for him. Protects his teammate, sticks as well. Doesn't lose too much of an HP before that engagement is over. 4 versus 5. The entry towards the A side has been halted for now. Looks like they're now going to be able to read Rexy pushing towards Dish as well. As we see Chu, he's going to be holding that angle. And Antidote gets a frag on sticks. 4 versus 4. Chu. Rexy knows he's there now, but oh, nice shot from AZ onto RVK. From behind, Rexy gets a frag on Chu. Now they know they're caught in a really difficult place. AZ is going to be concussed. They're going to be pushing in. But no, he doesn't check the angle. Antidote gets a frag and so does Rocky onto Hika. It's all turned around. And now they know exactly where Rexy is. They're throwing all the utility at him.
Oh no!
That nade actually gets him. What?
Yeah, I believe that was the other paint shell coming in. after the first one exploded. That just kind of sucked. Because Rexy, I don't think he even got a chance to play Valorant there. He just got taken down by a bunch of utility. Unfortunate. Rexy has been on point with his flank, by the way. Every single time he's gotten a kill, he just, caught the enemy's back, and I don't think they're reading what Rexy is doing. They just have no idea what the hell he's up to. He's been holding, the entrance towards bridge. That is the other side of the attacking
Get out of my
entrance
way.
towards A, and he's not really been pushing. Just waits for them to make a move, and then comes in at the last second. After a good 40-50 seconds. So yeah, he's keeping them on the toes for now, but they're gonna try to go towards B again. The Killjoy and Ray is locked into the site, nowhere to go. This is gonna be their final hold, and guess what? Cocky is good for one. He takes out Hiccup. Direct shot though. Does get cleaned up by Raw Fuel. Can Cocky find one? Oh, he spots REK coming in, but Rexy's there for the trade. This time around, he did not lurk for too long. And he's gonna make sure that his team does get control of the site. Judo ends up finding Raw Fuel, catches him off guard here on the rotation. And now, with the Aftershock, they're gonna try and make sure no one's in the cubby. But Antidote, waiting for the peak, is gonna be able to take out Chew. Now 6 left alone. Has the Rolling Thunder and the flashes, is good for one. Can actually clutch this one out. There's not a lot of HP remaining on Antidote.
You are divided.
Gonna let go of the Cosmic Divide. They see him. He's alive. He crosses over. He gets the kill. He goes back in. From the shadows, Antidote strikes, and they don't know where he is.
30
He hasn't
seconds
planted
left.
the spike just yet. AZ. Oh, he's about to get completely outplayed, but they both push it at the same time. And AZ finds the better of him.
Oh, that reminded me of the Spider-Man meme as they're both pushing in to go through the wall, and they're just like, oh, hello, you're there, and I'm here. You're dead. I don't know, that sounded weird, but yeah, it's gonna be 2-5, another round coming in favor of the Citizen squad, and they're gonna win 2 in a row. That's not bad. They can pull things back together. If they win a bunch of rounds in a row, 7-5 is definitely on the table for them. But again, they're gonna have to equalize first. Their economy is getting stable. It's still not on the best position. They still are a bit of in the danger zone. But Enigma, they're on an eco, so this should be a round win for them. Not just an eco. This is a bit of I guess a half buy. They do have some mixed weapons there, a bulldog and a vandal, but the rest are sheriffs. Cocky pushes in, spots a player. He only has a sheriff. Can he land the frag in as Drixo gets one to Rexy? But the escape route, RVK, runs away as he goes to the opposite spawn. That is info though. They now know that there's a Viper on that opposite side.
Oh yeah.
The question is, how is this entry gonna work with no proper weapons?
Well, they kind of sort of have to wing it. AZ's gonna get sucked in by the gravity well, actually gets taken into a favorable position, but then the snake bite comes through and Antidote cleans him up for the sheriff. Direct shot going in, looking to get the party started. Gets towards top of the side, but he can't really find anything from there. RVK is actually good for another. Rawfield's gonna find direct shots. Well, somehow they make it a 4v2, but they're all so low. RVK down to 5 points of life, and Rawfield as well, not sitting on a healthy amount of HP. This one's gonna be labored, but Enigma can do it. They've got the
30
numbers.
seconds left.
They're making their way towards B. The Killjoy is dead, so no protection towards that side. And slowly but surely, they're gonna make their way towards there. Wait a second, no, it's a double
Wait,
fake coming
what's
in.
happening?
They're still going towards A. They don't want to go towards B. Instead, Six actually does not have a read on this, and he's going to get cleaned up as a result. Chew,
10
the only
seconds
person
left.
standing with the operator, all he needs to do is take the spike carrier down. Do they see him? That's the question. The drop is going to be made. Do they have time? No, they don't have time!
I don't know, it's too
What
low.
is he doing? What? Why did he do
they
that?
have-
Why did he do that? They didn't have time. Oh,
My
They
mind
didn't
is
have time.
all over the place. What was happening? It was
What?
an eco round for the side of Enigma. They didn't have weapons. The utility from Suscall was great to deny that entry. They were watching the flank as well. Enigma, they were denied entry into the east side, but the fact that I think it was I think Chu died on that east side, and that sort of messed up the defense. But Enigma, again, the confusion plays, they rotated, they went, it looked like they were going towards B, but they weren't going towards B.
Enemy down.
oh, wow.
I don't know, man. That round was such a doozy.
Yeah, it really was. Okay, Cocky with the Guardian, just one-tapping everyone and shutting them down. Tekka, though, he's had enough. He lets go off the fault line, but he's still
no
can't get
way.
the dog. He is still connecting bullets to heads. And Rexy, he's trying to find some semblance of meaning in all of this, but he's gotten only one so far. He's going to need to do that 3 more times if he wants to win this round for his team. And Rexy, you can only ask so much of this man. He is not in a good spot here. They have an idea of where he is. Sticks will peek him, get the kill with the operator. And that's a successful eco win coming in from Sus Squad. Well, they correct course. And they make up for the last round that they lost. That should have been theirs, but hey. It's never too late. They can still try to bring this one back. 6-3. All they need to do is get maybe another 2 rounds and they can have a pretty good shot at coming back in this game.
They need to start things off with winning this round, obviously, because this is a buy round for Enigma, and Enigma's economy isn't the most stable. This is, I mean, both sides, they are definitely on the brink of that bankruptcy. So whoever wins this round will definitely have that more stabler economy, and so that will definitely determine how the rest of this half is gonna go. But Hockey still on that Guardian, sends some spam shots and sees the shoulder of the Cypher that is Rexy. Will tag him a little bit, but doesn't get the frag just yet.
Tripwire destroyed.
Enigma playing
Placing swarm
really
grenade.
patiently and really slowly. Astro abilities are going to be activated, but Rexy is going to pull out the showstopper and gets a frag onto Rexy. He does take a lot of damage, but gets a trade in, and usually he needs to push back the players in the same time. Rocky, in the meantime, gets a trade on Rocky. And RBK with a follow-up as... I don't know why he pushed in there. Could have just held the angle a little bit, but... That's going to cost his team the man advantage. 4 versus 3 scenario.
That's
Spike planted.
kind of big. Snakebite goes in perfect. He prevents anyone from peeking out from stairs. And Sticks, oh my god, they just cleaned up Antidote. That was dirty. Snakebite on one side, Aftershock on the other. And RVK will find AZ as revenge, but still a 2v3 here for the side of Sus Squad. This is not looking good, Kurita. I mean, they've got an operator on Chu, and unless Chu somehow lines 2 up, he's not going to be pulling this round back, but maybe with the Rolling Thunder they can make it happen. The flash comes through, but it's not enough. Rofio's going to be there to get the kill. He gets another one as well, and that's the Rolling Thunder wasted from the side of Sus Squad. And Enigma still holding on to theirs.
Rolling Thunder needs to be a little bit better timed there. I guess what they were trying to do, they were trying to tap the bomb and then go for the Rolling Thunder so that the players who were going to peek out of the tower, they were caught on that concussion while they were peeking out. So I guess the side of Chu had a vision on them and was able to take them down. Good idea, but the timing was a little bit off. It's really difficult to pull that off in scenarios like that. So props on them for trying, but 7-3 scoreline, and yeah, I don't know if this half might go in favor of the side of Squad, if I'm being honest. His position is really made known. I feel like he knows that you can't really shoot the Viper's smoke.
I think it's just reflexes and nerves getting the better of them.
I mean, he took his time to shoot that. He was angry for a little bit, and then for some reason decided to flick on that. I don't know what's happening. Who am I to say anything? But
yeah, maybe you didn't know. Maybe you didn't know. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But now he knows for sure. So could be. Could just be baiting them in over here. And that's a Cosmic Divide. A couple of Viper walls in the mix as well, just to confuse everyone's senses. And make sure that nobody has any idea what the hell's going on. Now, Corki has let go of the ult. The lockdown's gonna make sure they can't walk in just yet. REK is gonna be detained. But Rexy ends up finding Corki. Rexy finds Static Sword as well. And I think that's the B-side being opened up here. There's no one over here. They're gonna let go of the Cypher ult, and Styx has been completely compromised. Thank God he's a breach so he can fight his way out of there, but Rexy has the timing on him. And Chu's gonna get cleaned up by REK, leaving AZ to his own devices, all by his lonesome in this big, scary world.
well, you can try and get some more frags. Yeah,
Try being the keyword.
Yeah, doesn't give him a chance at all. Just goes for a white peek and lands a shot onto the head. As we enter the last one before the side switch, and as I said, the economy wasn't the best for either side, and look at the economy for the side of Sus Squad. Now, losing that round resulted them in going for these horrible bites you definitely don't want to see on the match point of any kind of map you're playing.
Oh yeah.
And especially on defense, where this as we see, Enigma's aggression is being so beautifully amplified in this attacking sided map, and they're utilizing it to its full potential. And lack of weapons is just adding on to disadvantages for the side of the squad. And see, okay, AZ does get a frag onto raw fuel. The flash and dash tactic doesn't really work out there. He's gonna be good for one more, but Rex gets trade. RVK as well will, but oh, AZ! He's gonna get one more through the door onto RVK. Meanwhile, a flank's coming in from the Jet. The Cypher is still there. If Rexy gets eliminated, no, he gets a frag onto AZ. Can look at the cams now and spot out the Jet, but he's not looking at the cams. Can he go on? Can the Jet go?
Last
Not being
player
caught.
standing.
Antidote. But they don't know he's there though. I believe.
Yeah, they have.
Rex
Oh
didn't
wait,
check
they
the
know. How do they know? They somehow know.
Do they know?
They do.
I think they just smoked it for security, but now they definitely know. Oh, okay.
Well, that's a throwback. Antidote on the operator. The big gun that one-shots people.
Switching sides.
But for now, Enigma is 9-3.
Yeah, 93 curse scoreline again. Is it gonna work out? I don't know. Didn't
Second
work out
time's
in
the
the
charm,
first match.
perhaps?
Maybe, but yeah, this is the only opportunity they have. If they lose this right now, then that's definitely gonna send them down a spiraling hole. Especially considering that in the group stage they are, I think, rock bottom, aren't they? Or they won? Or they? I think they are rock bottom. So yeah, definitely losing this will be sending them down in a spiraling black hole, which will be definitely not impossible, hard to recover from, but yeah, the momentum will definitely take a hit after this best of 3 series.
Oh yeah. I mean, Enigma. They've put up 3 people towards B. There's a tripwire and a cypher cage waiting for them. TEAMXO spots out the tripwire, but guess what? There's a fault line in there to work against as well. Hika can take care of the boom bot. Another cypher cage to help Rexy get into a better position, but he gets cleaned up by Chew. Hika all by himself has a flash to his name. Rockwool gets one. Flashes exchanged back and forth, and in the end, it's in favor of Sus Squad. Rawfuel trying to find an opening, but is unable to do so. Although Hika might be good for one. No, Corky turns around in the nick of time, but Rawfuel somehow through the poison the cloud finds Chew, leaving REK and him in a 2v3. Rawfuel's good for a third one, and he dashes away.
One enemy
Back
remaining.
to us.
Oh, no way.
What he finds AZ as well. Sticks
Big
up himself. He's in the
No
snake
way.
fight and gets cleaned up. Rawfuel keeps his team in the game, wins the pistol, and takes away any chance that the side of Sus Squad might have had, making this half a little bit easier for themselves.
I got your backs.
They don't. I mean, they did get the bomb down, but again, after that kind of a clutch from Rawfuel, I mean, he got 4 kills there, and no way was he able to, you know, get more than a couple. I can't believe that the side of Squad didn't really punish him for getting away with this one. He was also very low on HP, and I'm surprised he wasn't killed there. It's just, I felt like he should be punished for. He literally got away with murder there, basically. If he the way he played with the ghost, really well done.
Oh yeah.
But again, the spike was planted. If they wish to, the side of Suspect can go for some buys. But looks like they're going to be playing for some half buys right now. Interesting tripwires there. Rexy will be recovering a little bit.
Grounded.
But okay, Rawfuel with the Marshall. Can he land one more shot? Will damage, I believe. But okay.
Whoa!
Bucky making itself known. Corky's gonna be trying to get in. Can't see, but he's gonna be caught off guard. What is happening? I have no idea, but Rawfuel just runs and guns him down with a ghost, and it's gonna be an 11-3 scoreline. I have no idea what happened there. If anybody in the chat was able to figure things out, just, you know, message me later, and I feel like I need an explanation to understand what went down in that A entrance, but it's gonna be an 11-3 scoreline for now. 1 away from match point, and Enigma, they're looking like they're on the top of the world. Economy isn't the best for the side of Sus Squad. They can go for half buys now, but it's definitely not gonna be enough.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Catch 22. They just kind of screwed. They're letting their spike come in from the other side, from A halls instead. This could be devastating if the Viper gets cleaned up. No, okay, there.
As well.
Yeah, but look at this. He quickly.
Devastating.
Oh, Antidote finds 2. AZ is able to get 1 though. There's still some semblance of push remaining over here. Sticks finds 2. AZ finds another Hika. stabilizes, makes it a 1v1 somehow. But AZ will not be allowed to cross over just yet. He's watching the other entrance over here. And AZ, I think he has a creeping suspicion that Hika is on the other side. But Hika, a perfectly timed peek by him. He had no idea. He had no idea. There was no way for him to figure out that he would be there at that point in time. And Hika, he even celebrates, just throws 2 flashes into oblivion. And in the meantime, Sasquatch are just not sure what to do.
Definitely. I mean, a lot of chaos going down in these last couple of rounds. I believe that desperation has been taken a hold of by from the side of Sasquatch. They are doing these really random strats, trying to force their way into these sites. It's not really how you play this map. They are not exploiting the fact that they have another entrance on the other side of the map, which I feel like the side of Enigma did flawlessly every single round. They entry through those 2 ways every time they have opportunity. TEAMXO will get a
what?
They gain a second one to Hika as well. Interesting stuff. Based on frag with it as well. Antidote lands to his own. Brings it to 2 versus 3. Very much winnable for them, considering the weapons of the side of Sasquatch. He needs to find one more though. Maybe a second shower gets one. Can he get oh my god! Can he get an ace? No! TEAMXO's gonna finally deny him that. He picks up a Vandal. It's all onto Rexy. He has a Phantom as well. 1 versus 1, but a flick to the head, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Enigma. What a performance of them. And they're gonna win this second map as well from third. I mean, they didn't even win a round on the second half, did they?
They did not. This was all on Sasquatch's defense. So, yeah, Enigma just completely dismantled the side of Sasquatch. I mean, I have nothing to say here. Their defense was amazing. They didn't let them get a single round. But we didn't really get to see much of that because there wasn't really much they had on the offense to begin with. They only got 3 rounds on their offense. So, yeah, I mean, that just kind of sucks. I mean, Enigma just completely demolished Sasquatch, and it didn't seem like Sasquatch ever really knew what hit them. You know, they had those glimmers of greatness where, you know, TEAMXO got that kill with the Bucky, and they clutched out a couple of rounds here and there, but it never seemed very convincing. Anyhow, let's actually have a look at the match highlights and see how is it that Enigma managed to beat Sasquatch so easily. It didn't really seem like this was too hard for them, just like a walk in the park.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like they're using all the pathways and all the all the features of Fracture that make Fracture to its full potential. Again, using both sides of the entry on attack and holding on to the flanks, making sure nobody goes and wraps around their defense as well. They went for unique and fast flanks, and I feel like overall they are way more familiar with the map of Fracture compared to the side of Sasquatch. I'm not just saying Sasquatch; they definitely gave it the best out there, but I feel like their utility game needed to be a little bit better. They weren't the most strategic while pushing onto the sites, and definitely on attack. I mean, their attack definitely needed a lot more work. They didn't use the second entry. They didn't really, while entering into the B site, didn't really exploit the underpass, except for that one round where TEAMXO got a couple of shotgun frags there with the Bucky. Other than that, I'm not really seeing them, having that diversity. And it was pretty much the same case on Ascent, wasn't it? Despite that being
Yep.
their map pick, they were doing the same defaults again and again, and Enigma, it just was a matter of time until they were able to figure things out and bake them into their own strats, and they did it flawlessly there. And the fact that they have this map down to the T definitely helped Enigma out quite a bit. So it's a great it was as you said, it didn't really look that difficult for them. It was more of a walk in the park. That's gonna, I mean, when you know the park, when you own the park,
Yeah.
you're definitely going to be giving a lot more heat to your visitors, making things a lot more difficult for them. And I believe the side of Sasquatch have witnessed that firsthand here.
Yeah, and I think especially, I mean, this round right here, right, where Rexy was able to get the 1v2 clutch despite the valiant efforts from the side of Sasquatch, this was probably a heartbreaking one as well, because this was a 2v1, and somehow Rexy managed to pull it off. But yeah, you know, you got to take those on the chin if you're Sasquatch. You got to accept your fate and move on. Try and improve yourself, come back. And this was also a round that they could have won. I'm not too sure what happened here.
Yeah, indeed. I mean,
This,
we both were looking at the clock, and you said it out loud, like, oh, they don't have time. And I was like, okay, yeah, they started planting, I think, a couple of milliseconds after the 4 second mark. So on paper, they shouldn't have enough time. But I guess it was they. I mean, I guess they weren't aware enough. I don't know.
yeah, I think somewhere or the other in the chaos, They lost track, or maybe that was just a wrong dash. Maybe he didn't intend to dash straight. Maybe he intended to dash towards the right, then ended up dashing towards the front. Because he could have easily gone towards halls. I think that might have been his intention. Maybe he just misclicked the dash there. But hey, that's a mystery for another time. And this is not Scooby Doo, so we're gonna leave that to somebody else out there who's a bit more interested in downloading the replay, or actually just watching the replay on the YouTube channel and figuring it out for themselves. But yeah, Sus Squad, they definitely have a lot of work to do here on their best map, or quote unquote best map, because well, I mean that's the map they picked, so I assume it is their best map. Ascent, they got dumpstered. It was brutal. It was 13-5. We moved on to Fracture. They got a fair number of rounds, on their defense, but on their offense, not much. There wasn't much to be seen at all, and that's really saying something because I mean, it is a bit of an attacking sided map. Of course, pistol, it can always not go your way. It can always be a little bit topsy turvy, but uh, yeah, I mean, if they actually played a little bit better in their other rounds in the other side, they could have potentially had that room to work with on offense on Fracture, and they could have put up a few more rounds, make it a little bit more competitive at least. It didn't seem like Enigma was rattled at all, and yeah, I just think that overall Squad are not going to be feeling too good about this. This does make it their sixth match of the group standings, if I'm not wrong, and they only have one more to try and make sure they can keep this spot here in the gauntlet. So, yeah, this is elimination breathing down their neck. Kirito a lot on the line for Squad. Enigma, they're rejoicing. They've played like what 3, 4 matches so far. I think this is no, this is their fourth match, and they just won it. So yeah, they're in the clear. I mean, 3-1. They've got an amazing score. I believe that gives them around 7 points. They should be completely safe from relegation at this point, if I'm not wrong, unless somehow the stars aligned. I don't. No, I don't think there's actually a chance for the side of Enigma to be relegated away. So they're definitely not getting relegated. But I'm quite sure they want a lot more than that. They want to make it to the playoffs. They want to be the team who holds that trophy towards the end. They want to be the team that takes it all in the third season of the Gauntlet. And Kirito, that's where things get interesting because there are a lot of other good teams in the Gauntlet to beat.
Enigma, they definitely have that potential and they displayed it to perfection today. The team worked really well together and they displayed how well they are familiar with these new maps and how good they are at identifying strats and figuring out counters on the fly. And obviously, Squad, they didn't really put up the best of competition, but it just showcases how good Enigma are,
Yeah.
that they completely outclassed them in a lot of these rounds. So that's definitely something I would look out for if I was some of the other teams here in the top. Maybe if I'm only friends, if I'm Salty Esports, I would be taking notice of what Enigma are doing down there in the lower stages of the group. But again, with this win, this is definitely going to be a bit of a slingshot effect for them. It definitely propel them a little bit up forward and give them a bit more momentum going up to the following matches. So who knows, this might definitely be the start of a run they definitely needed to go all the way up to the
Oh yeah.
top four. So yeah, we just need to keep our eyes on Enigma for the future, because honestly, this squad again has so much potential. Teamwork wise, fragging wise, they're all great, and utility wise, they're all
Mhm.
really good. So yeah, they're a force to be reckoned with, basically is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely, and they made it to the playoffs in the first season of the Gauntlet. They made it to the playoffs in the second season as well. And in the second season, their run got cut short a little bit earlier than they would have liked, but it was at the hands of one of the best teams at the time. So, you can't really blame them for that. But yeah, this time around, Enigma, they probably want to take it a step further. They're done with those lower bracket finals. They want to go to the grand finals itself. They want to make sure that they have that chance to lift the trophy for themselves and bring it back home. And what better chance than in this particular season itself? 13-5 and 13-3. Absolutely wonderful scores live for the side of Enigma. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. This is going to be it from us, from our side today, but we are going to be having more games. So make sure you hit that subscribe icon. Make sure you hit that bell notification icon as well. You're going to know whenever we go live and whenever we have a lot of competitive matches coming up. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow your favorite team is going to be playing. So you got to make sure you don't miss out on that one. Until then, you're watching LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 3 powered by Crucial, along with our apparel partner 656, our accessories partner Cosmic Byte, and our esport partner Aimlab. My name is Floki. With me is Kirito. We'll see you guys on the other side.